Welcome back. We're to have with us Mr. Mike Ejiofor, who is a former director with the DSS and a member of the Presidential Fact-Finding Committee on the Chibok girls. Well, you were going to answer a question just before we went on break as to whether or not the military botched. Well, there have been strong criticisms as to how the military handled that, whether it was okay for them to have declared wanted the people who were involved in helping them in negotiations.
Well, I think I had the privilege of watching the Army spokesperson in one of the morning programs on TV. And he adduced reasons why they were declared wanted. That they have ongoing investigation and not declaring them wanted. I think that was, he tried to explain the reasons that it's not everything the information they have, which I also agree with him. They had information that led them to declaring these three people wanted. But ordinarily, since they have a superior information, which we don't have, ordinarily the process or procedure for declaring people wanted, you invite the person to come, he refuses to come, and is trying to evade arrest. You can declare the person wanted. But I'm aware, like I said before, that these three people have been working with government. Sakida in particular, I had a personal encounter because I got interested in this Boko Haram issue. Not because I work for government, I don't work for government, but having put in 35 years in service, whatever borders on security in this country should be of concern to me. So I found my way and I had an encounter with Sakida.
That's a journalist who is
the journalist. He used to be their media consultant to Boko Haram. And they have a lot of trust and confidence in him. But you know that in government, they also have a way of trying to find out their sources. Some people were doubting him. And but he claims from my interaction with him that he has very strong contact with these people. And that reminds me too, you recall that Senator Shehu Sani was also involved in this matter. He had contact with them. And he's very close to Sakida too. And like I said, I wouldn't want to go into the merits or the demerits of why the people were declared wanted. But one thing I'm sure of, that these three people have had interaction with government agencies, even to the presidential villa. Because
you raise questions as to, you're recommending negotiations. You're saying prisoner swaps might be one of the ways to go. If negotiators who have been, well, involved in past negotiations with the government and Boko Haram are treated in this manner, do you think that Boko Haram will have the confidence to be able to sit at a table with government, for instance?
Well, the fact remains that you cannot just use people who have contact with them. Government should also spread its dragnet, who have professional negotiators and mediators. So when they work together with the people who have contact, they should be able to direct them, ask certain questions before you can make headway. But if you begin to rely on the contacts alone, it might not give the necessary result. So government should go beyond people who have contacts and look for people who are professional negotiators, so that they work out a plan in conjunction with the people who have contact with them.
From the angle of a security expert, you have been how many years you've spent quite a bit of time working with the DSS, and these people, these Boko Haram suspects whom they want released, you know, have been in DSS custody. At least that's what a lot of people think. Do you think it will be wise, really? Or how grave do you think the danger will be if these people are released?
Well, it has its own security implications. You know, let me correct one thing. I retired in 2010 at the height of this. It's over 6 years now. And by the time I retired, some of them were not in custody. So I wouldn't know how many of them are in custody now. But there are processes. You have to debrief them, de-radicalize those people before you release them into the society.
Does that really happen with de-radicalization?
Of course, why not? It does. And when you look at some of the, you also look at the level of the involvement of the suspects who are in custody. How many of them have cases that have been tried? How many have cases that have not been tried or convicted? Some of them can be just foot soldiers, but some of them are very much involved in direction and operations. So you get to be very careful if you release those kind of people. But we are talking of lives of these girls whose parents, Nigerians and international communities have been thrown into trauma. So the most important thing is to secure their release. Eventually, like I said, Nigeria, technically, let me use the official language, is winning the war. But we have a challenge. Winning the local war or the Boko Haram does not mean we have also won the global terror.
Mr. Ejiofor, that will be a fine place to leave it. We'll definitely be exploring those angles when next you come again on the program. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
We're speaking with Mr. Mike Ejiofor, who is a former director with the DSS and also a member of the Presidential Fact-Finding Committee on the Chibok girls. It's over now to you, Chamberlain.
Well, thank you, Mark. We'll take a break and we'll be back in moments.